Hi everybody. I had told you in one of my previous videos, the one where I tried to show you how I do the jewelry out of resin skin, that I realized I wasn't on camera. I'm getting a little bit better with the camera, so I thought I would use the resin skins from yesterday to do some jewelry. And as you can see, I always do my work on top of a piece of freezer paper because, as you can see, the resin, well, okay, it's going to give me fits here. It peels up from the paper. There we go. And if you end up doing like me and you keep your little lids inside the middle of the resin and it dries in there, it just pops right off. See how easy that is? Okay, let me get this one up too so I can have room for my board. Now see it just peels right off of these. So if you have any spray paint, take all the cans to your workstation, because these make great levels. Well, more like to support your work, you know what I mean. And the resin doesn't stick to it once it's dry. So, but it's not always good to leave your cup right in the middle of all these if you want to save them, because then you end up with this funny looking little edge. Okay, let me move all those out of the way. Okay, now the board I'm going to be working on is just a plain old cutting board. Kind of dirty. It's not for the kitchen anymore, believe me. And what I did was I just put a piece of parchment paper over it because it's got little ridges in the plastic and I just don't want those to transfer to the, hang on a second, I'm trying to pull all these cups off of stuff. Ugh, there, well, that's good enough. Okay, I didn't want the ridges to transfer to the soft resin. Now, because I just did these pours yesterday, you can see this resin is still pliable. So these ought to be pretty easy to do. Okay, I see a couple of great spots right here. I'm trying to figure out what that's from. Well, I'll just pull it off. You want to look at it and make sure that it's, you know, looks good, doesn't have any debris in it. Okay, basically, I bought a couple of different sets of clay punches. This has got a little metal edge over it, and then this is the sharp edge. And one thing you want to try to do is you don't want it to be misshapen. Another tool you're going to need is, there it is, you're going to need a pair of some sort of pliers to hold it, because you're going to get this hot and then put it on top of the resin, and when it's hot it'll punch right through the resin easy. And you don't really need to get it that hot. See, all I'm doing is I'm just going over it a little bit with my blowtorch. And what I like to do is I like to kind of eyeball it as I'm putting it down to make sure, okay, over. Be careful touching it. It is hot. The other tool that you're going to need is you're going to need a mallet, a rubber mallet. Now, first thing I like to do is I just like to push it down so it makes the grooves, it makes the cut line. And then what you can do is to see if it's went all the way through, is you hold this down and then you pull up a little bit, and no, it didn't. But now it's not going to move because it's made a groove with the cut edge. So now all I got to do is just push it down. Okay, it's going to give me fit. If you put your hand on it, push it down, it should be cool enough to touch by now. And I'm trying to make sure you can see. And then you pull up on the stuff that's on the outside, it'll finish cutting through the resin. And see, and if you look at the back, you'll see that it hasn't cut all the way through on one side. Oops, there went one of my sticks. And it still didn't cut all the way through on one side, so that didn't cut all the way through, but that's where a little pair of scissors comes in handy. Your edge is pretty well okay. You can see the little groove right there. So all you gotta do is very carefully just cut right where that little groove's at. That was the groove left by the sharp edge of this that you were trying to pound through. And then you've got a perfectly good shape. Okay, let me cut this other piece out so then I can show you, pliers, there they are. So then I can show you a couple of ways to finish these. Okay, so first you want to heat up the edge. You want to look down through it. I don't know if you can see through there or not. Let me try to turn my hand. And now they're not going to be an exact match in the design you're getting out of your resin skin, but that's okay. Now, first thing I do is so it doesn't move, I just hold the hammer down and hit the hammer with the back of my hand. These rubber mallets are so cheap, you could probably get a second one and just hit the second one right here as you're holding it down. Okay. Well, it hasn't went through it at all. Okay. I've got to stand. You know, another thing you can do is you take your heat gun on low and you just kind of heat up the resin a little bit with the heat gun. That'll make the resin a little bit softer. I'm trying not to block the camera, but I'm trying to get my weight behind this mallet. Okay, I can see that this side hasn't went all the way through, so I'm going to give it a little bit more pounding over there. Now you can see it's went all the way through, except for one little spot, but that's where your little pair of scissors comes in handy. You want to use a little pair of scissors because this is a tight space right here. You don't want to try to get the blade of a big pair of scissors in there. Okay, now I've got my two shapes. Next thing you need to do is you need to punch a hole. Okay, these are hole punches I got at a craft store. They do have, I don't know if you can see it, they do have the size of the hole on the back. And I'm going to go with this size so I have enough room for my findings, you know, jump ring or ear wire or whatever to go through. You want to look at it. Don't get it too close to the edge, but don't get it too far away. And there you go. Well, hopefully that, okay. Hopefully that is going to be, okay. Now in a couple of days, these are going to harden up, so, see, shoot. See, I got that one too close to the edge, and I ended up punching it right in the right through the edge. So to make this a matching pair, I can get another round circle out of the rest of it because this is all the same color from the tiles I did yesterday. Okay, I'm going to put some jump rings in there to give the wire a place to go. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a couple of jump rings out. There's different sizes in here, so you got to kind of figure out what size you want to use, and then get two or three or four. Well, you need the same amount of jump rings on each side. So basically you need, I want to do 2 jump rings. So let me just put these over. As you can see, pounding it did put a hole in the paper. Okay, now I need my second set of pliers. Jump rings are not easy to open and close with just one set of pliers. If you go to, you don't have to get jewelry pliers. These are just, I got these from Sears Craftsman, and I think they're called needle nose pliers. Okay, you want to grasp the ring one side of the opening. Don't have the opening right. Okay, there's the little opening, and then you want to grab the other side, and then you want to kind of just bend it a little bit sideways. Reason I'm putting the jump ring on it is so it'll have, okay, open it a little bit more. Reason I'm putting the jump rings on it is so that way when it's hooked up to the wire, it'll have the room to swing. Okay, you put your jump ring through, and then you're going to close it up. And you want to make sure as you're closing it that you get the 2 ends right next to each other. And then I'm going to put, you know what, I'm going to do the other one as a, no, I'm going to do it the same size. I don't know what I was just thinking there. I should make them both jump rings the same size. I don't have my jeweler's glasses on. My eyesight's getting worse as I get older. So I'm just wearing my readers right now. So I'm having a hard time seeing the openings. Okay, then you want to open it. Now what you want to put through it is you want to put the jump ring. Now at this point you can close it, and then you can put your ear wire on this. The reason I put 2 jump rings is because when you put your ear wire on here, your ear wire will be facing the right way. Let me find my silver fish hooks. You can find just about all these little findings that you need, because you don't need really fancy findings. You can find them in craft stores. You can also find them in Walmart, even has them in their craft section. Okay, now I want to put the jump ring in this. Now, as you can see, I do want to make sure you notice this. Okay, this is going to be the front. So when you put your ring on there, you want to make sure you're holding the shiny side towards the front. And then you just drop your ring on there. And then you get it out of the way. And then you basically close this loop up. Now another way is, before you close that jump ring, as you're putting it on to the other jump ring, you can add your wire at the same time. Okay, now this is the way it's going to hang in my ear, and this is the shiny side, and it dangles. I love that. So anyway, other ways you can make this stuff into jewelry besides just punching a hole is, you don't have to punch a hole. You can get some of these posts, these earring posts. They've got a little circle that you can glue on there. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. I just had lunch. You can use the diamond glaze to do that. You can also use E6000. And you would basically just take your shape, figure out which way you want it to hang, and then glue your post on the back. Now, this one's going to take a couple of days to harden up, okay, because it's still soft, but it'll cure in a couple of days. If you think that your edges look a little rough, you can take a real small piece of sandpaper and sand it down. So anyway, the other thing you can do, I mean, there's other types of ear wires. There's also these blanks that you can buy where you could cut this round circle. Ignore the fact that I have two different holes punched in there. Oops, that's not the right side. There we go. You can, if you get lucky and one of your punches is the same size as this circle, you can get one of these, one of the blanks, and you would put, let me get this out of there. Come on. Of course, it never wants to do what I want it to do when I'm on camera. Okay, there we go. Okay, thank God I had the hole in it, or I wouldn't have been able to pry it out. You would just put a little bit of E6000 or a little bit of diamond glaze. Take a toothpick, smear it around, and then fit this on there. But before you put the diamond glaze or the E6000 on there, put this in there to make sure it'll fit. That way, if it doesn't fit, you can take a pair of scissors and trim whatever little part is not good. Okay, I'm trying to think. You can make them into necklaces too. They have pendants that you can buy that you can just cut out a piece and put it in there. Resin's a little bit different to put in a pendant than acrylic skins, because first off, you don't need a glass cabochon over it, okay, because it's already a resin. All you gotta do is cut it, and if you don't have a punch, like a clay punch that would fit it, let's say this was a necklace piece with a little bail up here. If you didn't have one to fit in here, a punch to fit in here, what you would do is you would basically just take your resin, turn it upside down, take your pendant piece, it wouldn't have these on it, and basically just push it down until it makes a mark. Now, I don't know if you can see that or not, but now I've got a mark on there that I can use my scissors to cut. Oops, got a label stuck to it. Ha ha! This label came off of one of my tint bottles. Anyway, and then of course, if you're using a pendant piece, you would do the same thing as you would with the bracelet blank. You'd put a little bit of your adhesive in there, diamond glaze, E6000, or whatever you want to use. You only need it a little bit. Smear it around with the toothpick, then put your piece in. Anyway, so I'm hoping that this has taught people how to use your resin skins to make jewelry. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, like, comment, share, and don't forget to hit the little bell for notifications after that. The whole month of January, I plan on doing a video a day. Only reason I'm redoing the jewelry video is because I had my camera angle wrong, and I had all my stuff not in the camera view, so I fixed it. So hopefully you have learned how to make jewelry. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment below. If you know me from Facebook, you can private message me on Facebook. If you don't want to put your question below. But like somebody very smart said, there is no such thing as dumb questions. So give me your questions, your comments, and give me a thumbs up, like, comment and like, and share. And if you have, subscribe if you haven't already yet. And hopefully you can now learn how to make pretty jewelry out of your resin skins. Is that the right? I'm looking at it. Oh, there we go. Sorry. I don't have any light up there. So as you can see, we've got now a pretty earring. And I'm going to make another one, and I'm actually going to wear those today. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Your support, even just watching it, means a lot to me. So until tomorrow, y'all have a nice day. Thank you. Bye-bye.